Joining me now is Laura Flanders, host of GritTV.org and contributing writer to Yes Magazine. She was opposed to the Iraq War from the beginning.
Laura. Skepticism isn't just called for, but it is absolutely demanded of journalists. And much as we would like to say that things have radically changed, it's a bit better. But to be worse this time around would really be accomplishing something. I mean, I'm almost expecting Thomas Friedman is still on the op-ed page of the New York Times. He was wrong. He still is. You've got Judith Miller. Is she going to be rehabilitated? But the fact is, it's not just the people who are being seen and heard, as you've said, who are some of the same people who were wrong last time around. It's who isn't being heard from. And it's who isn't being heard from for the very same reasons that Matt's talking about, because it's assumed that they're somehow knee-jerk. These are people who are thoughtful, critical, curious. And the other thing to bear in mind here, I think, is that, the discussion of the debate itself is problematic.
Here, actually, I think this gets to Matt's point about what should your default position be, right? I mean, that to me is what's so important here, is that the default posture, I think, of a journalist, of any policymaker, of a citizen, is that war is horrible and we should stay the hell away from them unless there is an absolutely overridingly compelling reason to do it. And that, to me, that's why the burden of proof question about the experience of Kosovo and Iraq doesn't essentially expiate later support, because you still should return to that default.
And the default
Chris,
position
you're
of the
changing the argument
completely,
or at least you're setting up a double standard that's completely unfair.
Wait, hold on a second.
I mean, the default position of journalists this time around should be even more critical. And as I understand it, it took days for reporters at the New York Times and elsewhere to be even warned about what had happened before. I still want to say, where are the peace leaders? Where is the leader of Peace Action? I called them today. A group represents 90,000 people. They're having demonstrations all around the country, and yet we have yet to see the head of Peace Action on any show. Medea Benjamin, the Washington Post, gives her somewhat respectful coverage in the paper yesterday when she protested Kerry. But let's have her talk inside a studio, not just kind of wildlife coverage screaming outside or in the congressional hearing room. There are protests happening today. The congresswoman from New Hampshire, Ann McCain-Custer, held a conference call on her phone for her constituents. 2,000 people called in. She tried to go for against. She couldn't get past round 3 before she ran out of people who were in favor.
One of the amazing things that's happened.
It's a majority position. It's a majority.
But that's.